Thank you so much for joining us on Citizen 93.7 FM. It's Super Citizen Newspaper Review this morning. My name is Lawrence Omoite. And also, thank God, it's Friday and the last day of the month, 31st day of October 2025. All right, we get on straight to the show. As usual, we will run through some of the headlines and first, and during the second half of the show, we will look at some of the stories in details. And we start off with the Vanguard newspaper. And the headline reads, "Give us result, not excuses," Tinubu tells service chiefs. And fuel tax won't begin until Naira appreciates oil price falls. That's a delay. Again, Vanguard's outreach restores vision, hope for over 81 negotiations. Major shake-up in army. 1 dead, 8 rescued as another building collapses in Lagos. That's a sad one there. Soludo's promise to APGA members aimed at tackling voter apathy, not vote buying. Osun 2026. Oshogbo indigenous groups demand governorship ticket. Tinubu's reform will win Osun for APC, Guba aspirant. All right, we move on to the Tribune newspaper this morning. Tinubu decorates service chiefs with new ranks. And Idi Abbas assumes office as the new chief of naval staff. How to manage prevent stomach cancer by medical experts. This is and Governor Adeleke decries unjust attitude of FG towards federating states. And Tinubu will soon tax the air we breathe if care is not taken. SDP's Adebayo. All right, we move on to this day newspaper, and Tinubu to service chiefs defeat these enemies once. I'll provide all the support. And FG inches closer to implementing single window policy for efficiency at Nigerian ports by 2026. At NERC's 20th anniversary, Adelabu Useni Adesina charts new course for power sector. And Ndume urges Tinubu service chiefs to put military on first line charge, raise pay. House probes tax deductions, multiple bank charges on Nigerians. And the government has responsibility to protect domestic airlines. That's coming from the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. All right, the Nation newspaper is next now. Be proactive and get results. Tinubu orders service chiefs. And still staying with the Nation newspaper, just Jonathan not eligible to contest in 2027, says Justice Salami. Okay, imported petrol to attract 15% tariff. The Sun newspaper is next now. Tinubu gives military chiefs marching order. And Lagos hosts Creation Africa as France back Nigeria in global creative future. All right, we move on to the Guardian newspaper. Justice on trial as court battles neglect infrastructure deficit. And petrol may hit 1,161 naira per litre as FG targets 4.8 trillion naira yearly from fresh tariff. APC gain upper hand in House as defections reshape power balance. And how plant-rich diets can prevent 15 million deaths globally. Unilag pharmacy students protest accreditation delay. Navy dismantles illegal refinery, arrests 7 in Ondo communities. Troops rescue kidnap victim, arrest suspect in Taraba. And youths clash in Benin over killing of suspected internet fraudster. And the sad story that broke yesterday, 4 died in multiple truck crash in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Naval chief rejects Coast Guard proposal, vows to deploy drones, AI against oil theft and piracy. And teenager killed as NDLEA operatives, drug barons clash in Edo State. 8 of the 14 new parties scale documentation hurdle, INEC says. And UK lots airpiece Abuja Heathrow operations. Auditor General hinges inclusive economic growth on accountability. Akpabio stakeholders laud BMI's tools for new education curriculum. And Tinubu approves 15% import duty on petrol, diesel. All right, we move on to the Punch newspaper now. Petrol soars above 1,000 naira per litre as Tinubu okays 15% import tariff. And Bayelsa Deputy Governor sues Assembly over impeachment plot. Protests spread in Tanzania over controversial poll. And party registration, INEC disqualifies 6 more political groups. EFCC NFIU launch crackdown on alleged coup fraudsters or funders. EFCC NFIU launch crackdown on alleged coup funders. US Defense Shoinka's visa revocation. And Natasha invites Akpabio orders for Kogi constituency projects unveiling. And all Enugu reps defect to APC. The New Telegraph is next now. Tinubu Lords is also for mobilizing support for government reforms. And Tinubu vows to provide credible, secure identity system. Ndume charges new security chiefs on improved welfare for troops. All right, Daily Trust is next now, and a headline here, it's a question really. Are public school teachers really more qualified than those in private schools? FG to implement single window policy for efficiency at ports. Cyberbullying, court orders remand of lawyer for others. And FG unveils identity app to strengthen digital governance. Senate confirms Bernard Doro as minister. Army redeploys 67 generals. Tinubu demands results. Yes, we move on to the cable newspaper now. Army redeploys 56 major generals, 11 brigadier generals in major shake-up. And FG EU signs agreements to boost local drug manufacturing, reproductive health in Africa. And King Charles, on the foreign scene, King Charles strips Prince Andrew of royal title, orders him out of Windsor, home of the scandal. And Tinubu to service chiefs. We can't allow crisis that began in 2009 to persist. Nigerians want results. Adeleke accuses FG of withholding Osun's LG funds for political reasons. All right, we move on to the penpushing.com now, and the headline here reads, controversial, cool controversy, military beam searchlight on Niger Delta Development Commission's bank account. And still on penpushing.com, police inspector, others die in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, multiple truck crash. Sad story there. Be proactive to crush emerging armed groups, Tinubu tells new service chiefs. That's still on the front page of Pen Pushing. And finally on the front page of Pen Pushing, on verified coup report scaring investors, says Nigerian government. So these are the stories you have on the front page of Pen Pushing. So you can check out any of the stories. Pen Pushing, source of authentic news globally. We'll take a short break now, and when we return, we will look at some of the stories in detail, as Mr. Salman Salami is already in the studio. Please don't go away. The program will be back in a moment.
This is our journey. We have had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Top Radio 93.7, Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated. It has just begun.
Check it out.
Rescan your dial.
You found it.
You found it.
Citizen 93.7 FM.
Great job.
We are the best. To 93.7 Citizen FM. Based in Nigeria's capital.
Your number one radio station.
Wake up, Abuja. Rise and shine. Get ready to start your day on Sunrise at Citizen. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7. Join us from 5 a.m. to 12 noon as we bring you the latest news, trending topics, and the most music to kickstart your day. From politics to entertainment, sports to lifestyle, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on our interactive segments, contests, and giveaways that will keep you engaged and entertained. Start your day with a smile. So, set your alarms and wake up to the best morning show in the city. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja's go-to station for news, entertainment, and more. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, 5 a.m. to 12 noon, Monday to Friday. Let's get this day started.
This is our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated.
It has just begun.
Check it out.
Rescan your dial. Now.
You found it.
You found it.
Citizen
93.7 FM. We are the best. The best.
to 93.7 Citizen FM, based in Nigeria's capital.
Your number one radio station.
Wake up, Abuja. Rise and shine. Get ready to start your day on Sunrise at Citizen. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7. Join us from 5 a.m. to 12 noon as we bring you the latest news, trending topics, and the most music to kickstart your day. From politics to entertainment, sports to lifestyle, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on our interactive segments, contests, and giveaways that will keep you engaged and entertained. Start your day with a smile. So, set your alarms and wake up to the best morning show in the city. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja's go-to station for news, entertainment, and more. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, 5 a.m. to 12 noon, Monday to Friday. Let's get this day started.
right, thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Newspaper Review and Citizen 93.7 FM. And this is the second half of the show where we look at some of the stories in details. And I have with me, as always, Mr. Salman Salami, Chief Operating Officer, Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja. Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Lawrence, indeed it is a very, very good morning.
And it's a Friday.
It is.
I'm sure you know the implication of that.
Lazy man, I won't join you in this.
All right, so the phone lines are open. You can join us as we begin the conversation. 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 222205. That's 0818 222205. Mr. Salami, we start off with the decoration of the service chiefs yesterday, and almost all the newspapers have it on their front page. And this is how the Vanguard newspaper puts the story. Give us results, not excuses, Tinubu tells service chiefs. And President Bola Tinubu told the new service chiefs who assumed office yesterday and promised to fight insecurity that what is expected of them are results and not excuses, as the country is in a hurry to celebrate peace, ordering them to smash new armed gangs he described as new snakes in troublesome areas of the north central, northwest, and some parts of the south. The president said, and there's a quote here, "We must not allow these new threats to fester. We must be decisive and proactive. Let us smash the new snakes right in the head." The president stated this at the decoration of the new service chiefs at the council chambers in the presidential villa. He said that the government has restored peace to many areas previously under siege, rescued countless kidnapped citizens, and significantly diminished the capacity of terror groups, but noted that the issue of security challenges remain and security threats are constantly evolving, constantly mutating. Congratulating them on their new appointments and confirmation by the Senate, the president said. Mr. Salami, a new era.
Well, a new era beckons indeed. And like we keep on saying that without peace and security, we can hardly achieve anything. And the president has told them in no unclear terms that no more excuses. This insecurity that came into the open, so to speak, in 2009 should be brought to an end. Just like the lawyers will always say, res judicata. There must be an end to litigation. There must be an end to this so-called insecurity. Initially, we thought that it was beans. We are bellyful now. It is in almost all the regions, in different shades. And the president has left no one in doubt as to what he expects from the new service chiefs. And come to think of it, they are on a first line charge. Almost all they will need has been provided. And the president is still saying that he's still ready to give them the support so that we can hit the snake right on the head.
Bam,
And let's go home. Honestly, I think enough is enough. Enough is enough. Let us praise our military men. They are doing their best. And I pray and hope that their best will be good enough for this country.
All right, yes, I think I love the vigor in which the president spoke yesterday, and I hope that the service chiefs will be compelled to follow the body language of their CNC. And just like we normally say on this program, Mr. Salami, even before the new appointments, we've always said that security is everybody's business.
It is.
There's really no magic the service chiefs can do on their own without the buy-in of Nigerians. Very important, especially at the community level, at the local level. You see something, you say something. Volunteer information. That's the only way, or one of the ways, to enhance the jobs of the security chiefs, by making sure that you are your own security in terms of knowing your environment, being aware of your environment, and also volunteering credible information to those who matter. Yes, very, very important, because at the end of the day, the military all over the world will always act based on information, and that's it. And we always say that this is very critical to help our officers and men who daily toil, and some of them give up, some of them pay the supreme price in an attempt to make sure that the country is secure. So it's no mean task. While we want them to give us that security, we will also need to contribute our own quota in terms of making sure that those very critical, credible information that we see, we should let pass it on. You see some strange faces hanging around your street 3, 4, 5 hours, moving around, moving without any direction. You should be suspicious. You should be suspicious, Mr. Salam.
Security is everybody's business. You have put it succinctly. You see a car that has been parked close to your area for the past 3 days. You never bothered. When you see something, say something.
Yes. All right, Mr. Salabi, there's this story that in the Punch newspaper, Bayelsa Deputy Governor sues Assembly over impeachment plot. The Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Lawrence Ehujapo, has filed a suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja against the Bayelsa State House of Assembly over an alleged plan to impeach him. In the originating summons, the Deputy Governor alleged that members of the Assembly were under pressure to remove him from office because he refused to resign from the PDP, the platform on which he and the Governor were elected. Mr. Salami, we've seen this over and over before.
You see, I am not a lawyer, but if you go to court on alleged plan, how do we analyze this? Do we wait until the act is done before you go? And if it's just an allegation, then will court act on suspicion?
Oh, yes, see.
Oh, yes, see. So it is neither here nor there, but then he has done the right thing. Why did I say so? It is far better to go to court than to hire thugs to disrupt the activities in the house. I think that is the right way to go. Let us wait for the courts.
Exactly. I think there are no two ways about that. Eventually, it's the court that would, and when you see issues like this, you know that it's likely to end up at the Supreme Court, no matter the decision of the Federal High Court at the end of the day. But yes, all this end up enriching our jurisprudence, Mr. Salami.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
All right, still staying with the Punch newspaper, party registration. INEC disqualifies 6 more political groups. 8 political associations have completed the initial stage of political party registration process, while 6 were disqualified. According to INEC, the National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumeko, confirmed this development in a statement. The Commission held its regular meeting that was yesterday. The 14 associations had been pre-qualified to participate in the process, which began with the briefing in September. Mr. Salami, more political parties will be coming on board. More groups have been disqualified, all in an attempt to participate in elections.
Lawrence, I am being careful in this, my analysis of registration of more political parties. The question is this: do we really need more political parties? And again, I'm mindful of the constitutional provision, freedom of
Association.
People are free to associate. But the question is this: if new political parties, or if a new political party is registered now, some few months to the election, what can that party do now? And the question, what is at stake to me is a renewal of our political attitude and awareness. To me, I think we have enough parties already. There are quite many parties that if they tell you that they are registered parties, because there are quite many that we don't even know that they exist. They still exist. Sort of what a friend would say, portfolio political parties. But we have a problem in our hand. If you say don't register more political party, they will say it is their constitutional right. And indeed it is their constitutional right. And if you say register more political parties, proliferation of party is not in the best interest of any democracy. The point is this: if you feel that you are a little bit to the left is already there. If you say you are a little bit to the right is already there. If you say you are a liberal, of course, there is a space for you. Why can't we deepen the political process and get into one of the over 50-something parties that we have already in such a way that we keep the APC on its toes by providing robust alternative solution to our problem. That is the way to go.
All right.
But like I said, it is neither here nor there.
Mr. Sami, you're speaking as if the intention, in quotes, of some of these political parties is born out of genuine reasons. But you and I know that most of these groups, political parties, are what someone referred to as SPVs, special purpose vehicles. And you and I know from experience over the years that some of these political parties just get registered and are kept in abeyance for a purpose. When primaries come and people fall out of their main parties and they decide to go on their own,
they adopt your own.
They adopt, and it's not free.
It is not.
At the end of the day. So, but for me, I don't think I should. The only thing is that we waste resources, especially when it comes to election, conducting election in terms of ballot papers and everything listed. Those are. But if not for that, these are groups that will fizzle out. After the election, you don't hear anything from them again. On their own, they are gone. Because after the election, water will find its level. People will gravitate towards the main political parties for some other reasons, only to wait for another general election cycle to come at the end of the day. So it's nothing new here. It's always been like that. It will always continue to be like that, except we decide that, okay, enough is enough. But for as long as the players in the game know that these groups, these political parties, don't be surprised, some of the political parties are sponsored by heavyweights in bigger political parties. You and I know that at the end of the day. So just like you said, it's neither here nor there. So let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. Meanwhile, you can call us. The number is 0903 2229 That's 0903 2229 You can also call us on 0818 222205. That's 0818 222205. You can also send us a WhatsApp message. Okay, there's a caller. Okay. We always say, please don't flash. If you don't want a voice call, send us a WhatsApp message. But please don't flash. Mr. Salami, let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. Justice on trial as court battles. Okay, justice on trials as courts battle neglect infrastructure deficit. And the Guardian here did a detailed, it's a feature story or anyway. But I decided to pick it because of the sensitive nature of the subject, and that's how that's about giving our courts a facelift. And there's just a pic here from the leaky roofs to overcrowded halls and collapsing courtrooms. Nigeria's courts are fast becoming symbols of neglect rather than sanctuaries of justice. Across the Federation, judges share courtrooms amid erratic power supply, while litigants wade through flooded corridors to seek justice. Mr. Salami, that has just painted the picture that I want you to have in your mind. This shouldn't be what we expect from our courtrooms.
It's sad that they are just back now. After a warning strike, 14 days warning strike, I guess. They are just back. The question is this: must we wait until things get worse before we begin to find solution? And I want to believe that judiciary, being the last hope of the common man, should be taken seriously in such a way that the needed infrastructure, which is the basic irreducible minimum, should be provided. We should have passed that stage of talking about leaking roof, talking about flooding, talking about the electricity is
Erratic.
Talking about chairs creaking. I just pray that a day will not come when the judge will fall down.
We hope not. We hope not. It will not be a sight to see. Let's not even imagine it at the end of the day. Because, Mr. Salam, you remember when we were growing up, the courtroom used to be. When you enter the courtroom, you are filled with
something you will tell you.
Oh, you know that yes, you are in a place that you. In fact, you control your breathing.
Yes.
Because you are afraid that even the judge would hear you breathe. You don't move anyhow because judges were respected. The judiciary was seen as populated by people of high moral standing.
That's right.
And so many other things at the end of the day. And despite the fact that, yes, those days, because of maybe absence of technology, you had judges do this longhand and everything. But even at that, but in 2025, yes, we know that there's been a lot of improvement, no doubt, over the years. But the pace is so slow. In some states, I know that, yes, there are a few states that have really, really tried. Lagos State, for example, even the FCT, too, has really tried in terms of improving the lot of the judiciary. More courthouses are built, houses are built for judges and so many things. But if you go to some other states, far-flung states, and you go to some of the communities outside the state capital, Mr. Salami, you weep.
The infrastructure is not there, no doubt. But more than the infrastructure is the breakdown of value system. The rope does not necessarily make the monk. Our values are down. There is what I call value crisis. Do you know that the lawyers get involved in scams now?
You see them fly Okada with their gowns almost threatening to fall off.
Lawrence, you see them, their suit at times. You weep.
Anyway.
And you see all these things tell. They have what I call a telling effect on how you respect, how you view, how you define. And the courage is even bad.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Salami, let's move on. You can still call us 0903-2229-797 or 0818-2222-205. This story also dominates the media today. Petrol soars over 1,000 naira per litre. Tinubu case 15% import tariff. Petroleum marketers have warned that the pump price of petroleum motor spirit, particularly called petrol, could exceed 1,000 naira per litre following the president's approval of a 15% import tax on fuel import. Okay, the new policy, which takes effect after a 30-day transition period, expected to end on 21st of November 2025 is part of government strategy to protect local refineries and reduce the influx of cheaper imported products that threaten domestic refining investment. However, marketers said the move could backfire and push retail prices beyond the reach of the average Nigerian. Mr. Salami.
Well, I giggled when you said that there was a report that somebody said the president may soon tax the hair we breed.
That's coming from the SDP national chairman, Prince Adebayo.
What a very cheeky one. I am of the view that Mr. President, or indeed the government, is trying to protect the indigenous entrepreneurs or investors.
In the oil industry.
Yes, in the oil industry. What I think the president is out to do is to ensure that we encourage local investors in the petroleum or energy industry in such a way that it will be more expensive to bring in fuel if the local product is cheaper. Chances are that the local investors will be in a position to produce more. And the principle of Nigeria first, or buy Nigeria, will have been encouraged and implemented. Now that the flip side, that with this, fuel could go for as much as 1,000 plus, to me, is another hyping by the independent marketers. But let us wait and see what happens. But that to me is the intention of the government, to make sure that the local investors or the local marketers of fuel will gain from it or will benefit. It's in the process of making our people believe in Nigeria, buy Nigeria, and invest in Nigeria. That's what I think the government is.
All right. For me, I think the question we should ask ourselves, do we have the capacity to produce locally to satisfy every Nigerian? If the answer is yes, then the government can go ahead with the tax import, the
discourage importation.
To discourage importation. But if we can barely satisfy our local consumption, it will always create some of these problems. We'll see how it pans out. Mr. Salami, there's this very interesting story, and we've spoken about this in so many ways. Tinubu vows to provide credible, secure identity system. This is from the New Telegraph. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to providing a credible, secure, verifiable, and inclusive identity management system across Nigeria, describing it as a key pillar of national development. The president made the declaration at State House during the official launch of the NIN Auth app, a digital mobile-based identity authentication application developed by the National Identity Management Commission. He said the administration was leveraging technology to promote efficiency, transparency, and accountability in governance, noting that the new system will soon be adopted by all ministries, departments, and agencies for staff and data verification. Mr. Salami.
Well, I was a bit happy when I heard that it was developed by NIMSI. I thought that is another organization that came up with it. You see, this is not rocket science. And we can harmonize all these things in such a way that at the press of a button, whatever information you need will pop up. And come to think of it, the road safety will tell you that they are trying to do one in such a way that the FIRS will tell you that you need to do so name identification. I don't understand why we are duplicating efforts in such a way that Nigerians are getting pissed off. To me, we should have an harmonized system of identification in such a way that at the press of a button, it will be all. You don't know that the police will now come up that you should come and do another. To me, it is a money-making exercise, not necessarily to ensure that we know who we are or that we have a record of data as to. At times, the population too is in the process of having data and knowing, getting information that will help us to plan.
Exactly.
But all these things could be harmonized.
Exactly, Mr. Stein, I was coming to, because what is the purpose of having data if you cannot access it when you need, and if you cannot put it to good use, Mr. Salami? We see across the world, it is no longer a thing that you use the US or the UK as an example. Other African countries,
Are doing it.
at the touch of a button, they know how many secondary schools they have in the country. You know how many primary schools, you know how many health centers you have and where they are located. You know how many doctors you have in the country, you know how many lawyers you have. These are data that you can assist and share. You have a central data processing center and others, even for not even talking about security. And this is when we even need it most, because of security reasons. We need to have data of how many people are in this country. It's not rocket science in 2025, Mr. Salami.
No,
we need to know people who come in and people who leave the country.
Doris, do you know that it is necessary and important that we know in so years to come how many lawyers will we have? How many students are studying law? How many students are studying medicine? How many students are in social sciences in all the tertiary institutions, plus even the polytechnics? It only means that in so X years to come, this is the number of students that will have graduated, and that will help us to provide employment, job opportunities for them. But we are discussing serious-minded human beings. We don't even know the number of our number. We say almost close to 250 million. At times we say 300 million. This is guesstimation. This is not how to go. This is not how to do things. We should by now, if we want to really plan for the next generation, we need data. And we need correct information as to who we are, what are we doing, what do we intend to achieve in so years.
And I'm glad that the president says this will also streamline data in the MDAs. You know that the MDAs are the most guilty. Stories, each time I see a story of ghost workers, I don't know how I normally feel. And you see ministry come out to beat its chest. Oh, we have discovered. We discovered 200 ghost workers. And you begin to wonder, when
were they employed?
Oh, God.
You see, this idea of ghost only means that we are not ready to face the problem. Ghosts don't work. There is no worker that is a ghost. It's a human being. And it only means that animal talk won't begin again.
And it also means that some people have been compromised. That's a short of it. We hope that this time around we will not come back. Maybe another 1 year to discuss this kind of issue again. We would have moved on from here. We will get to a stage that if you get to a checkpoint and the police finds your presence suspicious, all they need to do is to get your NIN number and feed it into a system. and everything about you
Pops up.
will pop up. You don't need to commit a crime in Abuja and you run to Akwa Ibom to go hide for the rest of your life. You'll be picked up if we have a way of harmonizing all our data at the end of the day. It's for our own good.
It is.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Salman Salam. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and it's Friday. I'm sure my Oga knows what that means. So, Newspaper Review returns on Monday, 7 a.m., bright and early.
My plea is this. Let's make this show more participatory.
All right, thank you so much. That's our package on the show today. The program returns on Monday. My name is Lawrence Sumaiti. Enjoy the rest of your day.